There's a system built within, and I want people to be able to speak about white supremacy because it affects all of us. And I want people to be able to sit in that discomfort without running away from it. Because the only way that we're going to make change is to sit with it and deal with it. And it's not about blame. It's not about when you realize even my own biases. I have my own biases. When you are around a group of people and you feel like, ooh, I don't like the way they talk. Ooh, they talk too loud. Ooh, they this. That's a bias. So when you're around people and you feel that energy, it means you should look within to see where you can do some digging and do some change. And so 3 months ago, I decided to do this event. I didn't know what it was going to come about, but I knew the word white supremacy had to be in it. And I did get a lot of pushback for that, but I didn't really care.
Yeah! Woo!
My call to action to you tonight is to become aware of how to sit in discomfort of white supremacy and that it affects all of us. I'm basically repeating what I should have been reading. Sitting with discomfort without reacting to our body's natural reaction to flee. And then I also want to talk about anti-racism for a second. It's another word that I feel a lot of people are afraid of. They think, ooh, I don't want to be anti-anything. But if you look up the definition of anti-racism or anti-racist, it literally is just recognizing your own privileges and recognizing ways that you could help marginalized people.
Yes.
And when you see something that is not correct, you say something even if you're scared.
Yes. Yes. Come on.
If you hear someone saying something homophobic, even if they don't mean to say it, you say something.
Come on.
Even if you're scared.
Yes.
Amen.
If someone is a Christian and they're saying, ooh, I can't do that, you still say something.
Yes.
Because if we don't say something, nothing is going to change.
Amen. Amen. Come on.
I want to introduce... Oh, I want to do some announcements. Sorry. Okay. Okay, so a couple of announcements. Committee members, I'm just going to say this. If you guys need anything, just come to me and I'll point you to the right person. How about that? Thank you to the interpreters that are here. I greatly, greatly, greatly appreciate you so much. There's no smoking or vaping on the property. There are garbage areas. I think we even have a recycled garbage now. Is that correct? Yes, it's over there, over yonder. There's a Cash App list for the folks that are speaking on each table in a plastic deal, so you guys can take a photocopy if you'd like to donate to people. Tabling folks. So we got Canby Trans Alliance in the middle over there. Thank you for being here. We have Mending Block. Thank you. We have Crystal. Are we just saying Crystal?
Sure.
Crystal! Crystal, can you come up for 1 second to say what you're going to be doing, please?
Yay, Crystal!
My massage therapist, the best massage therapist.
Hey!
In Salem. Right in my mouth. Like that.
Yeah!
All right.
Comes out here, the mic catches the sound like that.
Okay. Look, am I doing it right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Amazing.
Okay.
Amazing.
So massage is $5 donation to Loose or Black Joy or Free Fridge Salem. $5 gets you a 5-minute massage. You can donate more than that. I'll do up to 10 minutes of massage, but I need to clean and stuff between. And then all you have to do is read the COVID form, print your name on the sheet if all the answers are no for the COVID form. You're here, so I'm sure you're okay. And then show me on your phone the app that you donated to. And then you can have a massage. And let's raise some money today.
Woo! Come on.
Yay, yay. Thank you. Any other tables I'm missing over there? No. Am I missing? Oh, wait. I do want to talk about V1 Optics. Where are you? Can you come up here, please? I just want to read your bio really quick so people know who you are. Hi. So,
my name is Nelson Hackworth, also known as Vision First musically.
Woo.
yes. You have an amazing art table in the back. Also, you're going to perform a little bit later for us. And I also
Right.
want to talk about a little bit of police toning. You know, you guys heard about policing voices, black voices. You might hear a couple cuss words. Everybody going to be okay?
Yeah.
There's not going to be anything major, but I just want to warn everybody, okay? Okay, so Jay, Jasmine, and Nelson, V1 Optics is a newly established Black-owned photography and visual arts company founded in 2021 by Nelson, a musician and native Texan. Nelson founded V1 Optics after moving to Portland area, known as, what is it? Oh, Vision the First. He uses music to visualize his experience as a Black man in America, as well as a desire to uplift, inspire, and evolve with his people. Naming it with respect to his creative roots, Nelson aims for V1 Optics to find success in immortalizing meaningful moments and creating awe-inspiring imagery. He is interested in working with arts, models, business owners, and more. Nelson operates V1 Optics alongside his partner, Jay. Where are you at? Second shooter for V1 and owner of Wilder Aesthetic Art. Awesome. I just wanted to give you a shout out. Thank you. And we got later. Awesome. So now we're going to have Miss Auburn. You want to go ahead and do it? Okay. Okay, cool. We're going to have Auburn do our land acknowledgement. Hello.
Hi.
So I'm going to pull up my phone for this one because it's a lot of information. So let's see. Okay, so hello. Sahayam Nekanim Auburn Logan. Hello, my name is Auburn Logan. I am a member of Black Joy, Oregon. I am 23 years old, and I am a member over at the Confederated Tribes of Grand Run.
Woo! Yeah.
I'm Kalapuya, Yurok, Chinook, and Talawa, and many bands and tribes from the Pacific Northwest, so your girl is local.
Nice.
Let's see, I'm a descendant of Chief Joseph Sangrieta of the Kalapuya people. My grandfather was a drum maker, and my uncle was a Hatfield Fellow and is residing with his wife and 5 children down at Yurok County, down in California in Smith River. And I am also striving to become a cultural advisor. That way I can teach these next generations about our culture and our identities in our land.
Awesome. Come on.
From Salem down to Eugene remain Kalapuya land, and 26 other bands and tribes in the state of Oregon make up the Confederated Tribes of Grand Run. So let me go ahead and tell you a little bit about that. So, after World War II, the Bureau of Indian Affairs adopted a policy to terminate tribes who were considered capable of managing their own affairs. In 1954, Congress officially terminated the Grand Run tribe, and with the termination of the tribe, our individual Indian rights, sovereignty status, identities, and culture and language, etc., were stolen. And let me remind you again, this was 1954. This was, this is your grandparents' generation, or if you've been around for a while, this was happening when you were still around. So not that long ago. But in the early 1970s, it took 3 people, 2 truck drivers, and a housewife to be like, we're getting our land back. We're tigers.
Come on.
So, with the diligent support of our elders, tribal community members, tribal and community members created an economic base with which to conduct the business of restoration. The first tribal council was elected in 1974, and then by 1980, lobbying the recognition began in earnest. The years of hard work were rewarded in 1983 when House Bill 3885 was signed and the status of the Confederated Tribes Grand Run community of Oregon was restored and treaty obligations were once again acknowledged, and in 1978, the Grand Run Reservation Act was signed, returning 9,811 acres of reservation land.
Yes.
And the reason why I bring this up, there's so much more to cover, but I don't want to take up too much of anyone's time because this is for Black voices, and I want to respect that. Like how I said, this hits home for me and like literally as well, because we asked for our community's help and we asked for our friends and our neighbors' help. And this movement, Black Lives Matter, has reminded me so much of when my relatives and my ancestors, I know, again, it wasn't that long ago, but those who have passed and who are walking in the spirit world now, they still ask for help. And with being consistent, and we understand what it's like fighting the system, and we understand what it's like fighting against white supremacy.
Yes, come on.
So, those are just my words. If you have any questions, or if you want to know any more information, you can visit the tribe's website at www.grandrun.org, or you can find the museum's website, and that is Chichalu Museum and Cultural Center, and it is also linked to the Grand Run tribes and also owned by Grand Run. So everything is everything is in our circle and everything is owned by us. So thank you guys so much for stopping by. It's really cold and rainy, but I must see many blessings, many thanks.
Woo! Come on. No. No, it's awesome. Yeah.
And just as it took 3 members of the Grand Run tribe to get their rights back, we can do that too.
Yes.
We can stand up against white supremacy. Currently, Kaiser and Salem have both made citywide statements to publicly denounce white supremacy.
Woo!
I'm also one of those people, I care more for actions than for words. However, I will respect that words are a start. You know what I mean? That's definitely progress in the right direction. So, my friends, I'd like to welcome Bevan to the stage. Bevan is going to be blessing us with her rendition of Lift Every Voice and Sing the Black National Anthem.
Come on.
I would like to also give Bevan the opportunity to introduce herself and to express why she's here, how she lives her life. Who are you? You know, I do my paragraphs for some folk, and I want you to paragraph for you, my friend.
Hey everyone.
Hi.
First off, thank you so much for being here. I'm so honored myself to be here and to be a part of this event. And when Amira asked me to sing the Black National Anthem for her event, I of course was thrilled to be a part of it, and I'm so happy to see this turnout here in Salem. It's historically a place where I have not always felt safe. So I'm sure, you know, I'm not the only person that feels that way. A person of color coming into a small town can be nerve-wracking, and I think it's just so heartwarming and so bolstering to see a show of support from folks in places like this, and because it makes all the difference, right? If you see that person pulled over on the side of the road, I know I could expect you to stop, you know, and you would say something, and you would get out your phone, you know, like, it makes a huge difference. So thank you so much for being here. Again, my name is Baven. I live in Portland. I am an artist. I've been a performer my whole life. I work as an actor. and I sing and create dances and movement and do everything I can to uplift Black joy in this world. So again, I'm honored to be here. I'm going to be singing the Black National Anthem, Lift Every Voice and Sing. I fully encourage you all to go on and look, go online and look up the lyrics of the song and take a moment to reflect. The song was written over 100 years ago at this point, or about 100 years ago, and it's still so timely and relevant today, which is beautiful and heartbreaking at the same time. So I invite you at some point in time to go look at the full lyrics of the song. I'll sing a shorter version just to keep things short today, but again, it's called Lift Every Voice and Sing. Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring, ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high at the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dawn past has brought us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has taught us.
Woo! Come on.
Facing the rising sun, a new day begun. We will march on till victory is won. Thank you.
Yes.
That was amazing.
So good.
Thanks for bearing with
Woo!
me.
Oh.
We have a couple of folks that we're still waiting to get here. So if you guys can give us one moment, but I would like to introduce someone that showed up today to help out a fellow friend. And I was like, hey, do you want to speak? So I would love to introduce Truth. Hey.
Thank you, Amira. Thanks for y'all being here, man. Just to tell you a little bit something about me. When we had about 200 days of protest in Portland, I was there for about 150. Woo! And 2020 was a roller coaster. I saw personally some of the most evil things done to my people. But I've also had, in 2020, some of the greatest things that ever happened in my life happen to me. So it was very bittersweet. But when I think about what we went through in 2020 to a culmination of what's happening now, there's only one name that I can think of, and it's Ted Wheeler.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So let's just talk about it. What did I see over that past year? Okay? I saw our police force working in conjunction with white supremacist organizations, getting escorted downtown to come and counter-protest.
Yep.
What did that entail, the counter-protest? Well, they would show up with bear mace and basically do what they wanted to do. And be protected by the people that are supposed to serve and protect us. Okay? And let's unpack that. Who are these people that are committing these acts? Well, when you talk about our police force, 86% of them, a full 86%, do not live in the Portland metro area.
That's right.
Okay, think about that for a minute. I live outside the area in Canby and Battleground, all these other places, but I come to this place to police it. Ted Wheeler doesn't even live in Portland. Did you know that? Right? And so the people that are coming to protest against us and being aided by the police, none of them live in our town. Now, what are we protesting against? We're protesting against the siphoning of resources that the police commit on us yearly. What have they done? In the last 11 years, the Portland police, now I don't know about Salem, but I'm sure it's, you can look at the numbers, it's probably in conjunction with Portland. In the last 11 years, they've increased their budget almost $100 million. Simultaneously, they can't afford body cams. I don't know how that works, right? So when we talk about this system of white supremacy, what keeps that system in place is the police, okay? The Supreme Court has decided that they're not supposed to protect and serve us. It is their duty to enforce the law, whatever racist law that may be. So, and it's folks that look like me and that are unhoused and mentally ill that are receiving the biggest brunt of this oppression. Nationwide, when you talk about police killings, 25% of the police killings nationwide are mentally ill people, about a quarter of them. In Portland, it's 50%. Half the people they kill are mentally ill, most of which are unhoused individuals who don't have anything to their name. Now, what do those people need? They don't need policing. They don't need the people that can come bring lethal force to the situation. They need a pot to piss in, and a window to throw it out of, maybe.
Yes.
And James Chassie would probably still be alive had he had those things. Okay? So, what have we been doing? We've been, a group of us have gotten together. We've been, vehemently disagreeing with police practices and the misallocation of resources, and how we know, and when we talk about defunding the police, that's it's really visceral for people to hear that. They hear defunding the police, the people that are supposed to protect me are going to go away. When's the last time you felt protected by a police officer?
Yep.
We've had 149 mass shootings in this country this year, and a police officer has not stopped any one of them. Police don't prevent crime. They show up, they take some notes, possibly kill somebody in the process. Hopefully they don't. So what we've been demanding, and what these counter-protesters have been coming to assault us. What we've been demanding is that, hey, you take a little bit of that money, that $100 million, because in the last 11 years, while we've systemically raised the police budget almost $100 million, we've cut our school budgets every year. So let's take some of that money that you've been stealing from us. It's our money. It's our money. It's not the police's money. It's not the city council's money. And it certainly isn't the money of the people that come from outside the city to protest against us. It's our budgetary issue. So take some of that money, invest some of that money into programs that actually prevent crime. Because had James Chassie, like I said, mentally ill man, schizophrenic, he urinated on the street. That was his crime, okay? If he had a pot to piss in and a window to throw it out of, he would still be alive today. So let's think about one thing here, and I'll leave you with this. Police have a Batman belt full of everything to do harm with. They have their sidearm, they have their taser, they have an AR-15 in their vehicle, they have a shotgun in the vehicle, they have CS gas, tear gas, pepper spray, rubber bullets. They have all these instruments of death. And not only do they have that, they have an encrypted radio system to where they can marshal hundreds of others that have the exact same equipment. And not only are they armed with those things, what is the number one thing that they're armed with that we can all get together on today?
White supremacy!
Definitely white supremacy. But the one thing, definitely, because qualified immunity is a form of white supremacy. Qualified immunity means you can't even sue the cops civilly for violating your constitutional right. Now, I have on tape in my pocket right now a video of Ted Wheeler saying he's against it and saying that he's willing to yield on qualified immunity. Let's us get together and push and push and push to make sure that we can hold these police accountable for the violence they commit to us daily. We couldn't even have an hour of respite from the Chauvin trial without another young sister getting killed. And every day afterwards, there's been another black person killed by police since the Chauvin verdict. We are not done. Yeah. And we have plenty of work to do. Okay? So talk to your people. When you leave here, talk to your folks. Educate yourself on what qualified immunity is. It is the one barrier that prevents us as normal people from having tort on these people that continue to harm us. You should have a recourse or some sort of way to hold them accountable, and being able to take away the ability to sue them is one of the best ways. So I'm not a reformist. I'm an abolitionist. Yeah. Okay? Mm-hmm. Okay? Police have never made me feel safe. I was 15 the first time I had a firearm pointed at me. The first time I saw a firearm, and it was a policeman pointing at me. Okay? So if we want to hold them accountable, we have to eliminate qualified immunity. It is imperative that we do that. Educate yourself on what it is. Look at it on your phones now, or go home and search for it, and to disseminate that information to other folks so that we can push to make sure that we can hold these police accountable for what they do to us. Because until we do that, then it's going to be more people that look like me laying in the streets, and more folks getting off from doing it and getting paid vacations. So thank you for letting me speak. Thank you for coming today. And let's push to hold these police accountable. Because until we do, we're going to be stuck where we are in this system of white supremacy.
Woo!
Thank you. Okay, I am going to introduce an incredible woman that I started following on Facebook last year. With her newly transitioned title, Motivist, which is Motivational Activist, Libra Ford is an award-winning speaker and innovator. Libra can be seen on her social media doing her motivational Libra understands that recognizing one's privilege is the first step to changing harmful behavior. Many anti-racist workshops are done in groups, then people leave groups unable to personalize next steps. Libra will provide you with one-on-one sessions to review your privilege in detail and coach you to finding your own answers. This work is hard because it matters. Go to LibraFord.com for more. Please help me welcome Libra Ford.
Woo! Yeah.
Well, happy motivational minute. Oh man, it's good to see all of you guys gathering here in Salem. And of course, blessings to my ancestors, those known and unknown. My parents, one is alive, one is no longer here. And to all of you who have given me space today, I appreciate you. You know, on the drive down here, I constantly, speaking for me is really a heart thing. And so it's not like I wake up and like, oh, I'm going to say this. I'm often moved by spaces. And I like to spend time in spaces to kind of see what's going on. And this is an interesting time, right? Tuesday was a small victory. But that victory required some heavy lifting. Not just one day, not just 2 days. It was this long year of heavy lifting by many people across the globe. And we did it in honor of this man named George Floyd, right? And unfortunately, there's many names that came before him and continue to rack up on a list that require heavy lifting for us to see and feel a difference. And heavy lifting can mean a lot. You know, every year you wake up January 1st, and many of you will say, I'm going to the gym, and I'm going to start lifting again, and I'm going to start doing cardio and all those things that you're supposed to do because we do these New Year's resolution things every year. And we think that just by saying it, we're going to heal ourselves, right? The reality is you get in the gym for a week. It's coming down now. You must know that I'm about to bring it down.
You're good. You're good. Come on.
So, you get in the gym for a week, and then you're really sore, right? You start picking up the weights, you start going to cardio, and you're super sore. And you're like, man, this is really hard. Do I want to go back out there? And then you go back to the gym, and you're sore again. And then eventually you either keep going and you're lifting heavier weights and you're doing more cardio, or sometimes we have to let go because different things happen to our body. Whatever your reality is, lifting weights is a process. It's a process that you have to commit to. You can't just show up and think that it's not going to feel some kind of way. And when you do take a break and you come back, it's really, really difficult to feel good about it. You need some Epsom salt, you know what I mean? And right now, we just lifted really heavy to get a victory, and now we're all really fucking sore.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Because now we want to take a break, but we can't take a break.
Right.
Because the reality is that there's so much more work to do. So you cannot take a break.
Right. Come on.
This is not a New Year's resolution, y'all. This is not something that will come around every year for you to pick up just as a hobby.
Right.
This is something that you have to be consistent with.
Mm-hmm.
And here's what consistency does when you go to the gym consistently. You wind up getting healthy. You get off of certain medications. You wind up losing weight if that's your goal. That's not my goal. I like my thick thighs. I'm good. You may even become someone that competes with the weightlifting thing, right? Whatever your goal is, you have to be consistent in order to reach it. So let's talk about getting off medication in terms of lifting weights. Many times people go in the gym and they lift weights and they lean out and they get off of weights like diabetic medication, high blood pressure, all those things. And when you're consistent with it, you could probably stay off it for the rest of your life. I did it. I lost 127 pounds doing that. But my point is this. When you decide to do it and it works, you don't stop.
Mm-hmm.
You keep going.
Yes.
So now that we've seen something that we like, you don't stop. You keep going. You go to the gym maybe twice a day now.
Yes.
And maybe your gym is down at Ted Wheeler's office, like the gentleman was talking about. Maybe your gym is at your county commissioner's office. Wherever your gym is, show up consistently. Do not be someone that just has a resolution for January 1st. Stay in it. Don't give up. Now, how do you do that and what do you do? Because there's so many things that you can do to lift weights in this world right now. There's so many issues and there's so many things to learn about. How do you actually pick one that you can stay consistent with? Because that's the key with going to the gym. You got to pick something that you love. You got to do it in a way that makes it work for you. You don't go at 5 o'clock in the morning if you're not a morning person. You go when it works for you. Here's how you do it. Whatever you're passionate about, if it's schools, if it's the city, potholes, if it's transportation, if it's housing, if it's domestic violence, whatever you're passionate about, that's your weight to lift. That's what you dig into. And you pick one subject in that area and you dig into it. You research it and you lift that weight every single day. And eventually you will get results like we saw on Tuesday in that area.
Yes.
Now, if you all do that as individuals, then collectively we move this mountain. It may be one grain of sand at a time, but we move the mountain collectively. It is very difficult to jump on board on subjects that you don't understand. And some of this stuff is super complex, y'all. I want you to acknowledge that in yourself. It is okay to not understand something. It is okay to think, oh my God, this is so overwhelming, where do I start? That's how people feel when they walk in the gym. You're like, man, where do I start? And usually you hire a personal trainer or you go to someone that may be able to help you. The reality is that everything you need in this subject is inside of you. Everything you need in this subject is inside of you.
Yes.
When you pick the area that matters to you and you say, I'm going to lift this weight, and you dig deep inside of you, it's not about having the, how do I do it, or what's the answer, what does it look like? No. The heart will tell you what is right. And when it doesn't feel right, don't do it. Don't do it. If your mind is telling you yes, but your heart is telling you no, there's no bridge connecting the two, don't lift that weight. Leave it alone.
Yes.
It's that simple, y'all.
Yes.
Life is about your heart and what you feel. The last generation of fighters and motivists and activists always focused on the mind. We needed that. They got all of the things written down. They lifted the heavy weights for us. We have acts, we have bills that say, they don't work, but they say that certain things should happen. We needed that paperwork. We got that. Now we need the hearts to be changed. So we need you guys to do the heavy lifting and making sure that what is written is what people feel. And what is written is what people do. Because the only way we're going to have justice is if we do just this.
Yes.
Work from your heart first. I'm going to say that again. The only way you will have justice is if you do just this.
Yes.
Work from your heart first.
Uh-huh.
Now I need you all to get back in the gym, whatever your gym is, and lift some heavy weights. We got work to do.
Come on. Woo!
And I feel like our mask does the duty of a booster. And it's good. Had to adjust, you know, the weather. Yes, yes, please. Thank you. Oh, that's good. Pushing a little bit. Ready? Hello, everyone. I have a very special introduction to make for a special performance by one of my students at the Oregon School for the Deaf. His name is Tracy Holmes Ramirez. He has written a poem about a black man who, in history, his name is Andrew Foster. The poem is about Andrew Foster. Mr. Clifton, maybe you have a flyer, maybe you don't, someone passed out, that sort of explain how to watch an ASL poem. If you have that, you can read about it. But basically, it's just a visual, and we want you to enjoy it and not necessarily think of, like, what does it mean. One thing Tracy did, there are about 40 handshakes in American Sign Language, and this poem, he limited his handshakes to 3. He's using the handshakes, this, number 1, this, which is an A, but it's a handshake, and this. So everything that he does, you'll see either this, or this, and watch closely to how it evolves. The poem is a celebration of Andrew Foster. He's the first black man to graduate from Gallaudet University, which is a black college, right? 1960 something. And he has also established deaf schools all across Africa. That's Andrew Foster. And now I present Tracy Holmes Ramirez.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can I get Marie? Okay. So, we have Miss Marie here. Marie Gettle-Gilmartin grew up in Oregon and is the founder and principal of Fertile Ground Communications. She hosts the Finding Fertile Grounds podcast, where she interviews people about their grit and resilient stories, in addition to the Companies That Care podcast, shining a spotlight on organizations trying to make the world a better place. Welcome, Marie.
Yeah.
Okay? No. I have a very soft voice, so tell me if I have a problem with it. So I come to you today as a mother. I'm here to talk to mothers, grandmothers, and aunties of Black children. I believe it's my calling to raise sons, 2 of them are here today, who are dedicated to kindness and justice. But I'm keenly aware that while I worry about my son's safety at times, I never have to have the talk with them. I don't have to teach them how to avoid angering or scaring the police if they get pulled over, or worry about them having air fresheners in their cars, stopping at a fast food chain, going for a walk, or shopping, living while Black. The fact that my boys don't have to be careful about these basic things, this is white supremacy. I don't have to worry about my sons calling out for me as a police officer suffocates them under his foot or shoots them. This is white supremacy at its evil. The fact that we were all so surprised and relieved on Tuesday when Derek Chauvin was justly convicted for murdering George Floyd, and Ma'Khia Bryant was killed in Columbus on the same day. This is white supremacy.
Yes.
I've been reading Anna Malika Tubbs' incredible book, The Three Mothers, in which she tells the untold stories of Louise Little, Alberta King, and Bernice Baldwin, the mothers of Malcolm X, Martin Luther King Jr., and James Baldwin. They endured unspeakable losses, prejudice, and trauma. Yet they raised men who shaped our nation with dignity and grace, inspiring them to be resilient, resistant, and prophetic. largely forgotten in history, their sons always knew who should get the credit, their moms. Shadid McLean, Sabrina Fulton, Valerie Castile, Gwen Carr, Tanika Palmer, Katie Rice, Geneva Reed Veal, Yolanda Carr, Deborah Carter, Allison Jean, Leslie McFadden, these moms of black children, some of whose names are right behind me, deserve a world in which their children would not be slain by police. When my oldest son was born at 24 weeks gestation, weighing just 1 pound 6 ounces, we learned that the earliest preemies who have the best chance of surviving are black girls. I believe this is divine justice. Black women must overcome intersectional prejudice and bear the scars of generations, and you deserve a break. You shouldn't have to rise up day after day, exhausted by the news and generational trauma. You shouldn't have to worry about your children's survival, about whether you will have to fight for your rights, be called names or threatened, or face polite racism in the workplace. I also don't have to teach my sons how to code switch. This is white supremacy, and we must do everything in our power to end it. And in the meantime, we must honor black women and mothers who are doing the work to transform our world. One of the gifts of the pandemic for me has been befriending our amazing Amira Stanley. Where is she? Where's the amazing Amira?
Amira!
Shout out for Amira. I got the honor of interviewing one of our speakers on my podcast, Libra Forbes. She's over there. And Libra described her daughters as her superpowers and said watching them grow is like watching the best movie ever. So, Raina, and also Raina Casey, who's supposed to be here today, I also got to interview her, and she said about her son, he's my wildest dream come true and the best thing I've ever done. And right now I'd love to have, if you are a mom or an auntie or a grandmother of a black child, I'd love to have you raise your hand right now. Are you a black mom or a mom of a black child or an auntie or a godmother or a grandmother? Raise your hands. These moms of black children are following in the footsteps of those 3 mothers who shaped our nation. And a shout out to the non-biological moms, teachers, and community members who share in the mothering as well. Like Amira, for example. As Anna Malika Tubbs says about black mothers, may they be seen, may they be celebrated, and may they be thanked while they are still alive to hear it. I see you, I celebrate you, and I thank you. Let's show these mothers, grandmothers, and aunties our appreciation with some thundering applause. Woo!
Hi, I'm Maria, and I'm from Black Joy, and I'm here today to introduce Latinos Unidos Siempre to talk about the school board and the upcoming elections on May 18th. I don't know if you've been paying attention to the Salem Kaiser School Board. There's a lot to pay attention to. But right now I'm going to introduce Alex to come up and speak for them. And Alex is an abolitionist, a prison abolitionist, and a school-to-prison pipeline abolitionist. And I'm going to have him come up now. Here's Alex. Go, please.
All right, Alex.
Hey y'all, how y'all doing?
Good.
So my name is Alex. I'm a youth organizer here at Youth. So I want to start off by saying, if I give a shout out to all the powerful black and brown youth who to fight every day to end supremacy in school boards and as well spaces that are
can y'all hear me now?
Yes.
Alright, so I'm gonna start off. My name is Alex. I'm a youth organizer here at Luz. I want to start off by giving a shout out to all the powerful Black and Brown youth who are continuing fighting every day to end white supremacy in our school boards and spaces that are meant for them. They don't get enough credit for the work that they continue to work hard to do. They know that community matters more than credit and better than getting recognized. So let's give a round of applause for those youth leaders and Black leaders, and I'm glad to call y'all comrades.
Woo!
Make sure we continue to amplify Black voices and uplift leaders as organizations like Black Joys and etc.
Yeah.
I ask allies to be in solidarity beyond allyship, which means fighting alongside with us and taking to the streets and calling out your white peers for their racism. We don't need you to be on the sidelines. We need you to be with us at the front line.
Mm-hmm.
So today I have an ask for all of you who have the privilege to vote for this upcoming May election. I need you to vote and get out the vote for the Salem Kaiser School Board elections. Vote with your values and the people you voted for to get elected, and keep pushing them to be accountable to be racial justice. Elections will be held on May 18th, and the last day to register to vote is April 27th. We got cops out of our schools, although there's still a lot of work to end other forms of policing. So as an ally, make sure you keep cops out of our schools. And remember, education and white supremacy don't mix. And if you're interested in donating to our work, you can donate through Cash App and Venmo, and our Cash App and Venmo is @LooseU. And I want to end off with the chant. So when I say Black lives, you say matter. Black lives
matter.
Black lives
matter.
Black lives
matter.
Thank you.
Woo!
Going to be after this next speaker.
Okay. Thank you.
Hello. Okay, next we have Brandy.
Yeah, Brandy.
Okay, so I'm just going to read this interfaith clergy. So I got this off the website. PDX Interfaith Clergy Resistance Instagram reads, bearing moral witness in the streets, holding sacred space, centering BIPOC voices, journeying alongside justice seekers. Please give a warm welcome for Brandy.
Woo! Hello.
No. Oh, okay. I feel like I put the screen, but this works too. Hi, y'all. My name is Brandy Daniels. I am part of a group called Piker, Portland Interfaith Clergy Resistance, and I'm just reading a brief statement on. Oh, haha! My co-Piker. Thank you. I forgot my vest. We're a group that goes out to protest as witness, and one of the members, a leader of our group, Rabbi Ariel Stone, prepared the statement that I'm going to read on her behalf. The Portland Interfaith Clergy Resistance is a gathering of faith leaders of many religious traditions united in the belief that no human being is justified in oppressing another human being. We send our best wishes and warmest support to you, our comrades in Salem, who gather to celebrate Black lives. We celebrate with you the many gifts of the Black people that have blessed humanity. We mourn the Black lives cut short and the blessing of those lives which we will now never know. On this day and every day, we affirm with you that racism is the sin for which this nation will continue to suffer punishment until we step forward to make the words of our spiritual, our spiritual tradition real. Do not stand idly by the blood of your neighbor. We know that we have reached the world of justice for which we strive when those who are not Black no longer stand idly by. while black neighborhoods are afflicted by too much policing and too little share of social services, while black children are treated as second-class citizens in their own classrooms, and while black bodies are dismissed, commodified, and murdered at the will of the white supremacist evil of our day. Until then, our comrades, we will stand with you and with all who rise up to proclaim every day on every hill and in every government hallway that Black Lives Matter.
Yes!
All right, it's my pleasure to introduce Adam Erickson. Education Director at the Radio Foundation.
Okay.
Adam believes that American Christianity has been co-opted away from Jesus by the evils of white supremacy. He wants to end white supremacy, the evil that it is, so that we can end it and end the racism that has infected the United States.
Woo!
When I say mic check, you say mic check. Mic check.
Mic check. Mic check. Mic check.
All right. We need to. Hey, Amira, give it up for Amira.
Woo!
Changing the world. So, Amira, you're awesome. Amira said, "Preacher, you get 3 minutes." And I said, that's all a white man needs at an event like this. All I want to do is to say that from the foundation of this country, we, white America, people like me, have been worshiping the God of white supremacy. We came in here with this idea of manifest destiny. And if you haven't heard manifest destiny, your high school teachers failed you, and they failed all of us because they kept white supremacy a secret from us in high school. Did you know that Oregon is the nation that had white supremacy and racism in our Constitution? You couldn't be a black person in Oregon. It is rooted in our state, and here's what I have to tell you as a white pastor in the United States. It's rooted in me, too. I can't just blame those people out there who are overt white supremacists. It's in me too. Jesus calls us to name the white supremacy that exists in this nation, and to not stop until we root it out, and all of God's children are treated with the love and respect that we all deserve. That is what we are here to do, and Amira, thank you so much for putting this on. Woo!
Okay, guys, we're going to have a little bit of a break very, very soon. I wanted to introduce very special human beings right now, if that's okay, before we go on a break. Black Lives Are Magic is a Portland-based collective founded... Oh, 1 second. Y'all, let's play some music for a little bit. Go eat some food, and we'll come back in like 10, 15 minutes, okay? Thanks.